Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Laura with Diamond Painting and Stitching with Laura. And today we are back working on the tiger. I moved it up, or back I should say, where I had it. And that way I can finish working on the bottom part. I just had to know. Have you ever just had to know what something looked like? Because it's like I would be so pissed if I went all that way and then it wasn't going to turn out the way I wanted it to. So it looks pretty good to me. We'll see more as we go along, but at least we'll see the colors together. And I think it'll be more dramatic once you get to the face, you know, and the bigger body parts of the tiger. Well, it'd probably help if I threaded the needle on the end that it actually had an eye. Maybe. Oh, geez. It's been a morning, let me tell you. I didn't get started too quick, but well, when I first got up, it was like 50 degrees in this house, so I turned on the heat for the first time this year. And then I only let it run, you know, until it got to where it was supposed to be on the temperature thing, because I have it preset. But, I mean, it's like I can change it, but anyway, I was cold, so it warmed up the house. So, then I went out and went to the post office. Nothing exciting there. And then I went to the grocery store. That's always exciting. Yay! And picked up a few things. Stocking crap that I needed. And, you know, this is a good time to buy stuff that you stock up for the winter. I tend to do this in the fall. Sometimes I go through it, sometimes I don't. I mean, I'm not talking about a whole bunch of crap, but it was enough, and it'll do for 2-3 months or whatever. I wish I had an Aldi's. I miss Aldi's. I used to have those in Kansas, because I could go get all kinds of canned goods and crap, and it wasn't real terribly expensive. But they did have some sales, so I picked up some soup and some rice and some noodles and stuff that I use all the time, and stuff to make warm stuff, you know, like that you make in the wintertime. Like spaghetti and beef and noodles and chicken and noodles and the extra soups and stuff, because I tend to cook more in the wintertime. It helps heat up the house. Not that it's cold, it's just sometimes it is, and it's nice to cook a nice hot meal and have all those nice smells and everything. Then I bought some cookies for the grandkids, and I had to get my daughter a 12-pack of pop because she was stuck with the kids all day and couldn't get out because, God forbid, we have to take the kids to the grocery store. That's like a nightmare from hell. And it's only 2 of them, but it's enough, yeah. So, did that, and then I dropped that stuff off at her house, and came back to my house and cleaned one whole shelf off and bagged up stuff that I swear it's been on that shelf for 2 years. I didn't even get to the canned goods. I don't buy that much canned stuff. I usually buy what I'm going to make. Like if I'm going to make chili, I buy 3 cans of beans and stuff. Or if I'm going to make green chili, I buy the stuff specifically for that. But I like to get, 4 or 5 cans of soup that I might want to have in the middle of winter. Every once in a while I get hungry for Campbell's soup. And it's, fairly easy to throw together. It's not rocket science, it's just soup. But the other day I had a toasted cheese sandwich, and I'll be damned if I didn't want to have that damn tomato soup. And was there a can? Oh, hell no. So, yeah. So it kind of bites you every once in a while. But so I thought, well, they had soup on sale, so I'll just buy 2 or 3 cans of that and You have to have cream of chicken soup in the house. Come on. And then you have to have a can of cream of mushroom soup in the house so that you can make the silly, what do you call that stuff? A green bean casserole. But if you wait, it's usually all gone. Sometimes they don't stock those shelves well enough around Thanksgiving. So I like to have cream of mushroom soup. And every once in a while I get a wild hair and decided I'm going to make me just a single, not a single batch, but a small batch of that stuff. So I don't buy the onions, because if they were sitting around, I'd be eating them. Yeah, that's just the way I am, though. But I like them French's fried onions. Oh my God, I could eat them hand over fist. You know, and just stuff like that. You know, that you get. And cleaned off my whole shelf and had 2.5 small bags of crap that had been on that shelf for like forever, and wiped down the shelves. We're starting over again, so there you go. And then what did I do? Oh, I put a roast in the crock pot with a few potatoes. I don't like to have a lot of potatoes. I had one great big potato, so I cut it up and cut it into quarters, because tomorrow I got the grandma's noodles to make beef and noodles. Sometimes I like to have roast beef sandwiches, but not very often, and I'm not in the mood for barbecue. I know it's the time of year for barbecue, but no, not so much. I like pork barbecue better than I like beef barbecue, but beef and noodles, it's always good. And I can freeze those when I'm done, you know, and don't want a whole bunch. And it makes a fair-sized batch, so I can eat those a couple days, but then I'm done. Because it just, it gets too globby. Bleh. But I just felt the need to have some beef. But, so that's what I did this morning. Isn't that exciting as hell? I'm telling you. If you've got any more exciting than that, I'd have to take heart medicine. But, now I really need to tackle the refrigerator, because it's a disaster area, but I'm not going there right this second. Just not going there. Because I take the shelves out, because, oh yeah, I had Chinese food in there, and I had sweet and sour sauce, and I spilled it all over. Oh yeah, it was special. And I didn't notice it. You know, 2-3 days later, I went to go pull something out of the fridge, and yeah, everything was stuck down with sweet and sour sauce. Makes an awesome glue. Yeah. Because it's sticky and crap. But, just kind of getting my stuff around for winter, because there are days when I come home and I'm done. I just do not want to have to go to the grocery store or drive in the snow and deal with people on snow and ice or whatever it is. And it's just nice to come home and know you got that crap in there, and you don't have to go anywhere to go prepare a meal. It's like, ugh. But other than that, I mean, that's about. I'm trying to talk myself into cleaning up the studio. But, you know, that's just another day. I don't know. I got boxes because when I took all the, what do you call it? I had a bunch of mixed media stuff in here on my other table before I got my drafting table. And I just shoved it into boxes, you know, into open boxes, and didn't close them up or anything like that. Oh, yeah. The way I was done. I'm just like, nope, can't look at this shit anymore. So I just shoved them all in boxes. And the boxes need to be gone through and, you know, everything regrouped and put where I can actually find it. And I was talking to my daughter about this, and I need to organize some crap. I don't know. This time of year, it's weird. I get this nesting thing going, you know, like I have to get it all together because we're never going to get out to the grocery store ever again. And you know, and it's never happened. I don't know where that comes from. I really, really don't know where that comes from. So, your guess is as good as mine. It's a mystery. It's a mystery. So I go through this every year about this time, before the snow flies, and get food packed in. And of course, you can't buy fresh vegetables, and some, you know, to last for any time, because I don't have any place dry to put stuff like that, so we just don't even go there. Okay, well, crap. So, what is that number? That's weird. Okay. Well, we got this out, so we might as well just start right in up here. Hopefully you can see where I'm at. I read the first book of the Guardian trilogy from Nora Roberts, and I'm already into the second one, about halfway through it. Last night we went to bingo. Oh, yeah, that was a bust. We should have just saved our money, but, you know, hey, it gave us all some place to go. Something to do, I suppose. But, other than that, we went about, 6:30, and it lasted till about almost 10 o'clock. Came home, and I worked on a little bit of the other tiger. So, I got, let me see if I could bring it. Hang on. See if I can do this without knocking you over. Alright, so I got that much of that black done. Right there. I didn't work anymore on this part, but I was trying to get this big old area done there. I didn't work on the counted cross stitch. Oh, and I got a story to tell you. I have a story. Okay, so I'm floating around on, whoops, sorry, wake up. Okay, now that everybody's dizzy. I was floating around on YouTube and looking at crap like I do, and there was these two people, and they were talking about, like, I think the name of the video is, like, the 9 women that ruined, like, rulers' lives or something like that in China. And I'm like, okay, so I listened to all that, and I can't even repeat any of the names. So then I saw they had another one, and it was talking about the 4 most dangerous women in China, and in ancient China, that is. Sorry, needed to suppress that, or signify all that. And they were showing pictures of these 4 women, and this was back, you know, like early China or whatever, somewhere. And I don't know, you know, if they told about them in order or anything like that. And like I said, I can't remember any of their names. So I'm looking at these pictures and I go, you know, they look kind of familiar. Well, guess what? You remember those 4 Chinese beauties that I got? Well, it turns out that that's what the 4 beauty women were based on. They were the 4 beautiful, most beautiful women of China. So, they had nothing to do with the seasons. So now you know. Then, you know, since all that crap wasn't enough, I watched this thing, and they were talking about the Forbidden City in China, and how one of the rulers had built himself a retreat right there within the Forbidden City, that he was going to stay at once he, you know, retired, or, you know, and he wasn't going to be ruler. One of the kids or whatever was going to take over. He built this room where he could relax and that kind of thing. This room was stunning. Just absolutely stunning. And it was called The Emperor's Secret Garden is the name of the video. And it goes through how it took 10 years, now we're in our time, 10 years for them to restore it. And they went, when it was originally built, that emperor took only the best craftsmen that could supply whatever he wanted done. He picked them or whatever. I guess there was like, not a contest, but you know what I mean. He knew of all these people that specialized in all these different, you know, I mean, there was like bamboo weaving, and there was jade carving, there was wood carving, there were, what do you call it? Oh dear. Murals that were done by this specific man, and I don't believe he was Chinese. And so they picked the experts in their field at the time of the emperor to make this beautiful air. It's just like a room, you know, and it also had like, we'll call them couches, but you know what I mean when I say Chinese couches, where they're low to the ground, you know, where the emperor would sit. So they're like 3 or 4 inches off the ground, and then they have like balustrades on each side, you know, where he could put his arm. So all that was made out of brocade. Now, enter in when they decided, the museum for the Forbidden City decided to redo all this. And, you know, because it really wasn't in horrible shape, but it was, you know, bad enough that they'd have to redo things here and there, right? So they went to whoever, they couldn't, of course that guy's dead, but the guy that did the murals, they put the murals, I believe, were on silk, and then they were applied to wood, and the wood was made from mulberry trees bark. And there was a person in the same southern region where they had the original people who made the paper from hand. There's still a person, and he was like the 9th generation of person there to know how to do all this. So they, of course, employed him to do that, and he remade the paper to back all this. And then they had found people that were carvers, or they carved and they also wove the bamboo into like a weaving type design. I don't know how to explain it. His great-great-grandfather had taught him how to do all that. So they hired him, and so on and so on. And they still found, oh, and the biggest deal of all was the brocade that they had to weave. They weaved the brocade, the silk brocade, by hand. Not hand, but in the looms, you know what I mean? And then they had to figure out how to make some kind of golden velvet. And so that was his area of expertise. And he was like 9th generation or something crazy like that. And they got that all accomplished, but it was all, what do you call it? I want to say reproduced, you know, and there were parts of, like, say, the guy that they had, oh, I'm sorry, I'm not making too much sense. I mean, it was awesome to listen to all this and what they went through to make it look like the original. You'd have to see it. It was just unbelievable. But it was amazing. And that they could find people still alive generations later that could reproduce that. And of course they were going off of, as well as, what do you call it, in scrolls and books and stuff that, you know, were ancient books and stuff of how they did it and who did this and who did that. And and what was added to it, and it was like unbelievable. I mean, the record keeping and the skill of the craftspeople were just totally beyond belief. Just beyond belief. But it was awesome. So that consumed, another hour and a half. I get lost on the history stuff about, and it's not just China. I mean, I like to read about how things were built and how that craft evolved, or just history of the arts, let's say. I've always been interested in that. I mean, I went on a 3-week repertoire of doing nothing but studying up on the impressionistic artists. So, it's just all in what you're interested, I guess, in. But I just thought it was fascinating. Whoops, I guess I need more beads. It won't get very far. But, I mean, I was watching those women, and they had to remake, there was like panels that were like silk panels, and they had to do all the sewing by hand. And, here's the funny part. And they were working on a piece, so it was probably, God, I don't know, it must have been 25 feet long. There must have been 50 people around that table. And I'm like, that's how they get those big, big things done. Yeah. I can't talk my kids into that kind of crap. Are you kidding? But, no, I don't know. I mean, unless they're working on something special, that's not I don't think how things go. But I don't know, I mean, there may still be places like that do all that hand sewing. And that hand sewing on that silk, my God, it's an art. It just looks so perfect. Just absolutely. And if you screwed up, oh my God, no. There'd be no screwing up, because that silk ain't going to take it. It just... Oh, and I was watching... I'm full of crap today. This thing... Oh my God, I lost it. Hang on. Give me a second. Somebody was opening... I don't know. I'm going to say a random video because I have no idea who it was talking about, they had opened up a new kit, a sewing kit, a cross-stitch kit. And, sorry guys, got to get my hand in there. And they were talking about the difference between the silk thread and the cotton thread. And I never even thought about it, because I thought silk. Now, in my brain, when I think of silk thread, it's one strand, and it takes forever to, I've only seen it done, like, filling in an area, so I ordered a new, I don't know how big it was, don't even remember what the picture was. I know I'm terrible that way. It's sad. It really must have made some difference when I ordered it. Cross-stitch kit. And it had a choice, and I believe it was AliExpress, of either silk or cotton. And I ordered silk this time. But she was showing, and I believe it was, I can't say her name. She's been working on the leopard. I don't know if y'all know who I mean, and I don't know if she's Chinese. What? She's Asian. We'll call it that. I'm sorry. That's all I know. But she showed the cotton thread next to the silk thread and how shiny it was. And I guess I never really thought the cotton thread was dull. I mean, I don't know. I haven't done any embroidery for a long time. And I keep looking to see if there's anything that's going to strike me. But I would like to try that. But I don't know about working on silk. I have too heavy of a hand. But, she showed that the silk thread was real shiny in comparison to the cotton thread. So I don't know. So we'll go through that together when I get that, because that's the first one I ever ordered was silk thread. And I know it's really strong, so I don't know. It'll be a new experience. But don't get too excited. It probably won't be here till the middle of October. So, anyway. Alright guys, well, I think that's going to be it for now. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. And please hit the bell, and that way you'll know when my next video comes out. Y'all have a good evening, and a good rest of your weekend. God bless. Bye-bye.